board members, what unique experience is the question do you bring to Bristol City Football Club? Doug.
Thanks for that, Stuart. And I'm delighted to be going first. My own experience is, as you know, Stuart, finance, running companies. I'm a Bristol City fan. I've been supporting Bristol City since 1973. I'd like to think that I bring my experience to bear in helping to run this business, which is the football club. The stadium company likewise. And I think we've got a real good bunch of people doing their best to deliver what the owner has asked us to deliver. And with the rest of the team, I think we're all pulling in that right direction.
Right, Steve, you're not on the board, are you? So, but do you want to add anything to that then?
Well, I don't. No, I'll answer in a different way. And Stuart, I'm sorry to turn it back on you, but I think the three people up here who are board members, and including Keith Dorr, who isn't here tonight, are avid Bristol City football fans. They are supporters of this football club like nobody else are supporters of this football club. So why do you think we haven't got supporters on the board? First question. Second question is, why would I put on anybody onto this board that can't add value to the board? We have communications with the Supporters Trust and the Supporters Club on a regular basis. I know sometimes that fades from time to time, but it does actually, I think as a football club, we make the effort to communicate. I know you're the messenger a little bit here, but I'm addressing it to you. If there's a member of the Supporters Club that can add value to this board in a specific way, then I'd be quite happy to consider whether I should vote him onto the board or not. But to answer the question, if I may, rather than embarrass them, Ernie is on the board because Ernie has been a lifelong supporter of this football club. He's been a great assistance to me over the years in supporting this club. But he has a specific role, which is that we, as a board, find it difficult to attend every away game. So he is the board member that is tasked with attending games and representing Bristol City Football Club at all football matches, which is a very important thing because I think it's a matter of courtesy that when you're playing away at football clubs that you have a board member in the away boardroom and can represent the club at that game if we need somebody in an official capacity. So Ernie fulfills that role. Doug's spoken for himself. Keith Dorr, who's not here this evening, Keith Dorr came onto the board of the football club with me in 1996-97. We've been together supporting this football club for how many years that may be. He has put his hard-earned money into this football club as well in the past. He has great knowledge of football. I don't know anybody in football that I have met that has greater knowledge of football and players and what is required from a football club than Keith Dorr. He's not a spokesman, he's not a front man, but he gives an awful lot of quality advice and in many cases criticism to the football club, which is invaluable, and he's been a great foil for me over the years, and I try to provide the same foil for him as chairman now. John is on the board because he represents the Lansdown family now in Bristol City Football Club, and I'm afraid if anybody doesn't feel that a Lansdown member should be representing the family on the board of Bristol City Football Club, there's something amiss. So, again, I've made this comment, I made it at Bradford, I'll make it again now. I mean, I got involved in Bristol City Football Club because John and I used to come down here as father and son watching the game. I only came to watch Bristol City Football Club because he wanted to come and see the matches down here. He was 6 years old at the time. Gradually it's transpired that we've now sort of got ourselves into the situation where we own the football club and invested a lot of money in the football club. So as I quite rightly say to him on many occasions, he got me into this mess. He can now get me out. No, but seriously, what I think John provides, and I know I'm his father speaking on behalf of his son, and therefore I have a vested interest in conflict and everything else that goes with it. But I know that John has followed this football club through thick and thin alongside me for many, many years. He has a great ability to assess situations and to actually put into practice some of the things I'd like to put into practice, which I'm not very good at, and makes a valuable contribution to the board. He also brings the average age down as well, which helps. We don't need any more people on the board of the football club to make the football club run successfully. I am very grateful for everybody that participates in helping us in projects, particularly the people from the Supporters Trust. And I don't know if John Darcher's here, but I know in the safe standing... Yeah, John. Thank you for with regard to the safe standing application and everything else we're doing on that. I welcome all the input we get from the Supporters Trust and the Supporters Club to tell us where they think we're going wrong and what we should be doing right. We don't always agree and we often have arguments, but it's all for the good of the football club. So I think there's a good balance there. But as for bringing somebody onto the football club because they're a member of the Supporters Club Trust or the Supporters Club, I don't think it's necessary. I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's just to put another member on the board for the sake of it. I am from the clan, if you like, that thinks that a board should be an odd number and 3's too many.
Thanks, Steve. Well, I think we should at least give John and Ernie an opportunity to say something for themselves as well, because Stuart did directly ask them to, So, John, have you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a pretty unique view of it. Having worked here for 5 years and known the in-depth knowledge of the club, various aspects of it through that, I've obviously followed it closely for a lot longer than that, second-hand, first-hand, followed it as a fan, sat in every stand, stood in the hail away at Stockport, every aspect you can get. So in terms of being able to add value, you've got a completely different perspective to anyone else. It's a unique perspective in that point. So it always helps to have someone looking at it from a different viewpoint. So
thanks. Ernie?
I think Steve failed to mention my financial impact. Apart from that, he's answered everything.
It doesn't really, because it washes over you. I don't like it at the time, and I mean, and certainly when I think it's I hate press comment, for instance, when it's untrue, and we've had plenty of that this year from the Post, I have to say. Obviously, I'm very proud of this football club. I want everybody to be proud with it. So when people sort of accuse me or accuse the board of doing things for not the right reasons, then it hurts. But I know that things are being done in the right way, and I think this football club is a great football club, and it can be a great football club on the footballing stage. Answering the gentleman's question back there, we can get back into the Championship. That's the aim now, and we can go on from there. I haven't given up the dream.
Well, we put in a bid for one, it got turned down. We put in another bid for him that got turned down, and the money that they wanted, I wouldn't spend his money because I didn't think he was worth it. That's the answer to that one. So yes, I think there is a winger needed. The only problem you've got is there's an imbalance in the squad, and it will go back to my first conversation I had with that gentleman over there. If you play with a winger, how are we going to play? How are we going to play? 4-3-3? We want a winger, so one of them's going to have to play out there. Yeah? Would that be fair enough?
Well, yeah. But
Well, they normally do wingers, they play out there. So, wait a minute, hear me out. So he's going to play out there. At this moment in time, until potentially Tyrone Barnett gets to a level of fitness, he's probably the only striker we've got that can play down the middle by himself.
Okay.
He's probably the only one. Because he's big, he's strong, he's aggressive, he can head it. He ain't going to get beat up by anybody, that's for sure.
No. Okay.
So then you need someone on the other side. Okay? So that means then we're going to play 3 up top. Now we either have to play 5-2-3 to get 3 up top, but we haven't got the 2 who can play in the middle of the park to get to that 5-2-3. If I go and sign a right winger, for instance, now, I'm going to stop Wes Burns. I'm going to stop him.
Good prospect, I agree.
I'm going to stop him. So I'm not sure I want to clog that pathway until he either succeeds or he fails.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be the former. So the wingers we've tried for, we aren't there at the moment getting to a 4-3-3 to have your winger. And if we play 4-4-2, we can only afford to have one winger. Because if we try and play 4-2-4, we haven't got two midfield players that can be sat in here, and if they come and play, if we play 4-4-2 at home here, and a team comes here and plays 4-3-3, 4-5-1, we'll get done. We'll get done. Because we won't be able to get hold of the game in the middle of the park. We'll end up getting it forward quicker than I would want us to get it forward if we do that, because there's only 3 dimensions to the team. We do need a winger, but we've got to have a winger that's going to be better than what we've got. We've got to have that. So, at this moment in time, they're hard to find. You know, central midfield players and wingers are hard to find. If Man United can't find a central midfield player, and they can't at the moment, it's flipping hard for us, you know. So, yeah, there is a room for a winger, but it's got to be at our price, what we think is fair. We could have bought this winger, but the trouble is, I'd then be fleecing him, because I'll be taking money off of him, and I don't think we should pay what they wanted. And they know at the moment, in this window, people will know that we'll be struggling, so they'll think Bristol City will pay over the odds. Yeah, we know Mr. Lansdown, he's got a few quid, so we'll take a few more quid off him. Well, we won't. We won't do that. 100% we won't do that. And I think I've already probably proved that to him on a couple of phone calls we've already had.
Isn't that always the case then?
What?
To the money, isn't that always the case?
No, not when they're free. Not when they're free in the summer.
Okay.
And you've already spoke to their agent. Straight as a die this game. No, that's it. You know, I don't think we should be able to ransom, because if we do it, we'll always be able to ransom. And I don't want that to be the case. And if we go out at the moment and we give it, Johnny Bristol City, everybody then will be after us. And I don't want us to go and do that, because I think that would be wrong. I think if you get in the Championship, it gets a bit more difficult. But I don't think we should go and do that. Because at the moment, we're already there for people to want to chin us. That's what happens. So I think we need to be sensible in what we do. I think if it gets to a stage where we've got to pay a little bit over the odds, but then coming to the summer, there's going to be a bigger market for him and we won't get him, then I'll speak to the board about that, which I've already done on a couple of occasions, really.
And if you're worried about us getting chinned a bit, can we not play Ernie?
Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, that's the other reason he's on the board. I thought they were nervous. I thought they lacked confidence. I remember when I first said to them, "What'd you do from a goal kick?" And they all get over one side of the pitch there, and they smack it over there. And I said to them, "Show me what you do again." So they got a goal kick, and they smacked it over there. And they're all fighting around for it. They got the next one, they smacked it over there. So they pulled them all together, and I said, "That's good, isn't it? That's good, you enjoy that." Because he's like, I may as well chuck the ball in there, and whoever gets it wins the lottery. You know, it's like, what's the point of that? We're never going to play good football if we whack it over there. So then I wanted them to spread out. Because if you were to look, and if I was to say to you now, and I'll chuck it back on you, how do you think Aidan Flint's played since I've been here? Would he have played better? Would he? It doesn't matter, you know, would that be right or wrong? Would he play better?
I think he's got a bit
Right.
more confidence.
He's played better and he's probably got confidence.
I went to a Q&A with Sean O'Driscoll and he said that the defenders we have at the moment can't play out from the back.
Okay.
They aren't capable of doing that.
Have you seen them do that? Have you seen them do that?
What? Since you've been here?
Yes. Right, you've seen that. Because we practice that and because they've got space to do it. It's about where you start them. We still might kick one there. We still might kick 3 or 4 there. But what we're trying to do, first thing you've got to do is affect their back line. Where are we going to affect their back line? If you're all over there and we kick it over there, I'm never going to affect their back line. Never. I'm never going to affect that back line. Because however we want to get to score a goal, somehow we got to get in the back of their defence. Whether it's dribbling, passing through, going over them, we got to get in the back of their defence, haven't we? So the first thing I want to do is I want to affect their back line. So how am I going to affect their back line? If I squeeze us all up and we kick it over there, it's a fight. And if we ain't big enough and we ain't strong enough, we ain't going to win that fight. So every time I kick it there, we're going to lose it. My back four are going to squeeze up, they're going to win it, and they're going to kick it over the back of my defence. So then we're facing towards our own goal. I've got Flinty, I've got Derek Williams, I've got Elliot Parish going, oh my God, and they're going to knock it back, and he kicks it up in the air, and it blows out over there, and everybody goes, bloody hell, you know. So all of a sudden, you're not giving them a chance. Whereas if I put Flinty there, and I put Derek Williams there, and I drop Packy or Gilly or Marv into this space here, now they've got a choice, and they've got a problem now, the opposition. Are they going to drop off us? So fine, drop off us then. Now I'm going to give it him. Now he can play. But what's got to happen above him is there's got to be movements. So there's got to be movements and there's got to be runners. And they know that. And when it goes to him, we're going to suck them all in, but their back four is going to move over and then we're going to hit a diag on them, like we did with Waggy for the goal at Bradford. Okay, all their back four went like that. J. Emmanuel Thomas stays on the fullback. Waggy was behind him. We hit J. Emmanuel Thomas. J. Emmanuel Thomas ain't got to win the header because it'll go beyond him anyway and Waggy will get in. So we get in on one ball. So if they want to drop off us, drop off us. If you want to come and press us, come and press us. You come and press us here, we're going to kick it beyond you three. And these three here, Packy, Flinty, Derek Williams, whoever it is, we're going to work them strikers. Because you know what the strikers don't want to do? They don't want to run back that way. They hate it. They hate running back towards their own goal. So what we're going to do is we're going to work them all game, getting up, getting back, getting up, getting back. Because then they'll get taken off. They'll get tired, they'll get fed up, and we'll have the ball more. And the other thing we've done is we've practiced. We've actually practiced. There's a 25-yard line at the training ground, and there's the goalkeeper. What they forget, these players, is when I give it to him, don't pass the buck, pass the ball. But I can always have it back as the goalkeeper. And they forget the goalkeeper. If Elliot Parish continues, and I don't know whether he will or he won't or whatever, if he continues his progress, playing out from the back and him being able to use his feet, he will be worth more money. Them as individuals, when they play better football, they will be worth more money to this football club. But we've got to have the knowledge of how we want to play. And I want us to play. I hope you've seen that. We ain't perfect all the time, but we're trying to get better. We're trying to get better. And we'll only do that by space. So that's why every goal kick, even if we're going to kick it, we drop them here. We drop the centre-backs here. And even if they go and stand on us, then we'll come back even further. So it will give them a problem. Then we'll chip the full-backs and we'll get out, or we'll play a midfield player and we get out. We've got 5 ways of getting out. 5 ways of getting out. When the goalkeeper spots the ball, the goalkeeper's the important one. As soon as there's a goal kick, he gets the ball and he scans. He scans out the top of his head. If you have a look now, we only put our goal kicks in the middle of the goal. We never put our goal kicks on the corner of the box. I don't understand why people do it. Wolves will do it Saturday. They'll stick it on the right-hand side of their box and they'll go bang, and they'll kick it onto Henry. I guarantee you. They might not do it all the time, but when they kick it, they'll go bang, bang, bang. That's what they'll do. When we stick ours in the middle of the box, we can go anywhere now. We can overload that side. We can play short. We can smack it out to Greg Cunningham or Bobby Reid because they're spread out. So we've got to we try and work on. We're organised, spreading out. They're disorganised, spreading out. That's what we want to try and exploit if we can. And there's 5 ways of us to get out. And it's dropping with them all the time. But it's not one, we can't do this as number 1 and this is number 2 and this is number 3. You've got to scan it yourself. And it's dropping with them, and that's why they're being able to play out now. So I can't see that they can't play out. I think they can play out.